Alright, here's the Green Guild's mobile chicken coop project. Working here with our mill and using this small trailer we picked up off Craigslist, using this trailer frame to build on a mobile chicken coop. It can hold up to 1,000 pounds, which we will not be building 1,000 pounds worth of material. But we will be able to hook it on to the Prius or the van and bring it out to show and tell around the world, around Minnesota, with our mobile chicken coop. And we are working on making this an all-season chicken coop. It will be insulated, 6 inches of insulation on all the walls and 4 inches of insulation underneath and on top beneath the steel roof. Alright, so let's see our chickens over here. Hey chickies! Hey chickies! So these lovely hens will be making this mobile chicken coop, adaptable for up to 6 chickens. Alright, let's see what happens. Okay, so we've built our foundational lumber frame with red cedar to get through the 4 seasons, get through the elements. Take much longer time to rot than it would if we use pine, and equally weather resistant to pressure treated, so I heard from the lumber folks at the lumber yard. And so we've bolted it down with 5/16 inch wide bolts by 5 inches long, bolted down into the metal frame. There's a little bit of a space there because of these the original bolt heads that are holding the frame together. We didn't want to mess with that. A little bit of airflow is not bad. Also, this is going to be full of insulation, of a foam board insulation, expanded foam insulation. So here we go. We placed 1/4 inch plywood onto the cedar wood frame, and we'll be stacking 4 inches of expanded foam on top of this plywood, and then another 1/4 inch plywood that'll be the floor. And then we'll be doing 6 inches of expanded foam between 2 1/4 inch plywood for the walls going around the whole trailer. So here we go. Let's see what comes next. We placed 1/4 inch plywood onto the cedar wood frame, and we'll be stacking 4 inches of expanded foam on top of this plywood, and then another 1/4 inch plywood that'll be the floor. And then we'll be doing 6 inches of expanded foam between 2 1/4 inch plywood for the walls going around the whole trailer. So here we go. Let's see what comes next. Okay, here we are making our insulated walls for our chicken coop. We're using a 1/4 inch ply, and then we're gluing expanded foam or expanded polystyrene, which is a bit toxic, which is why we're wearing masks, Marmel and I. This is 2 inches thick. This has an R value of 8 at 2 inches thick. We're going to lay 3 of these down on our sideboard. So this is our sidewall. So here we're going to lay the first one. And so we're going to cap each end of the board. Each side is going to get capped with a 1x6. Okay, so we got about a 3/4 of an inch on each side to put the 1x6 in there flush. Now next we're going to take the caulking gun, the adhesive for expanded foam, and we're going to lay it across and glue the next panel on. These walls are going to have 3 of these 2 inch thick panels. Each 2 inch thick panel has an R value of 8. So we're going to have an R value of 24 for our walls. Alright, let's see what happens next. Okay, so we've got our 3 layers of polystyrene, and now we're laying a 4 millimeter grade plastic in between the foam and our interior wall. That way it's going to help keep moisture from going out, from going through the interior wall from the chicken coop and into the foam area. So we're going to get flush right up here. Alright. And then we're going to press it, we're going to sandwich it, press it down with some cinder blocks. And you'll see what comes next.
So at Green Guilds, with these structural insulated panels for the chicken coop, what we're doing next is, after drilling in the 1x6s in between these 1/4-inch plywoods, sandwiching the foam panels, we're then putting spray foam and then another 1x6 on top. So spray foam will expand, and as it expands, after we put on the 1x6, it'll expand all the way in the seams until it fills up everything, and there's absolutely no cavities, no air leaks, thus leaving a very strong insulated envelope for the building.
Okay, passive solar chicken coop. Just as Armel explained in the last video, we've capped off these walls, 6 inches of expanded foam within them, adhered together to the 1/4-inch plywood on the outside. Spray foam insulation behind these 1x6s to make sure it's nice and capped and filled with no air gaps behind them. Each wall feels like it weighs about 100 pounds, and the R value is 24. And that's the ceiling that the roof is going to go on. Within this wall space is a 4x6 area, which is going to be sufficient for, 4 to 6 chickens. Roosting, egg laying space, walking space, and the 71-degree angle is what you see there, which is what our window is going to be tilted to. And then it meets flush back here. We used 8-inch lag bolts to go through 1/4-inch plywood, foam, 1/4-inch plywood, and then into the side of this board, which is another 1x6 capping the back wall there. So it goes through 1/4-inch plywood, 6 inches of foam, 1/4-inch plywood into the 1x6 that caps the back wall, this back wall. And yeah, we'll have to seal it up here and there. We haven't attached the ceiling yet, so there's a lot of space. We'll do the same. We'll put a lag bolt in through the top, go through here into this 1x6 and pull it down. All right. All right. Here's the latest phase of the chicken coop, the 4-season passive solar insulated chicken coop. So you can see we have our 6-inch floor, walls, and ceiling. We've cut our door, which is going to be the cleaning door. We've got the roof, steel roof about to go up with the frame for the steel roof getting set up now with 1x3s. We use the lag bolts to go through this 1x3 into the top of this 1x6 of this wall. Boom. Then we connect connections there. We got it caulked up at the seams. Used caulking at the seams. There's our insulation. Door's gonna close onto that at about a slight angle. Right now, this is gonna be where our eggs are gonna be laid. And I'll show you what comes next. Okay, here is the entrance and exit door for the chickens, built with 1x6 frame, 1x6 sidewalls, 1/4-inch ply, 1x6 base, stuffed with polystyrene, R24 value. I'm going to cut it at this angle, put a cap on it, and call it a door. Okay, I needed to support this plywood wall of the chicken coop. I needed to support this piece here because that's the piece that's going to have hinges on it, which is going to hold the doors. So I supported it by putting a 1x6 custom cut cedar plank in there. In order to cut the foam behind it like perfectly flush, I measured 3/4 of an inch thick, which is the thickness of the wood. Cut some slits along the way with breaks in them, so this wasn't totally disconnected. Breaks in them across the way, then put a long saw through to cut it just about flush. So this fits in there just perfectly snug. No foam needed, no spray foam needed. So then this was a bit tough because I couldn't get the foam perfectly flush here, so I had to shove it up real firm with this, and that actually did a lot more than I could with my hand. That pressed it up so it compressed the foam, and it made this end in here nearly flush, okay, by pressing it. Okay, it might be like a 1/16 of an inch off. That's that. Let's see what happens next. Oh yeah, I'm gonna caulk all these lines in here, and on the back side, I did no cutting on the backside plywood. So the backside plywood's gonna have full lip. This is gonna have pieced lips out like that,